And we back, Kenny, baby, we back, man. Entrees and Entrees, season 2, episode 20, man. We 20 in.
Yeah, season 2, episode 10 of season 2.
It's episode 20. Episode 20, season 2. We here, man. We doing it, man. We still pressing through, even with COVID, man. We still pressing through. With that being said, man, how was your week?
Good, man. My week was good. I think the work week went pretty fast. I wasn't even feeling it Monday morning, but my week went pretty well. Enjoying the Nate Robinson, Mike Tyson, Roy Jones festivities over the weekend. But other than that, man, everything been good. How about yourself?
Oh man, no complaints on this end, man. Same here, just getting through my work week. Things like that. Got some good news about my job. So, I'm feeling good going into the weekend. You know what I mean? Man? You know what I'm saying? Something to drink to. You know what I'm saying? Something to drink to. You know what I mean? So I'm definitely happy about that.
God is good.
Other than that, me, man, chilling, just enjoying it and happy to be back for another episode. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce our guests. And, we gentlemen on the show, you know what I mean? All Black men are gentlemen. So we gentlemen on the show. I'm gonna start with the ladies first. So first and foremost, we got 2 returning guests. One of our guests, she wasn't able to be on the show from the visual standpoint. She did do the audio, and she, I'm happy to have her back. And that's Miss Shantae. So Shantae, yes, definitely introduce yourself. If you got something you want to promote, please do.
Hello, I am Shantae. I am not much of a promoter. I promote myself, my thoughts, and my own ideas, and that's about it.
Dope.
I like to call her the new Angela Davis.
All right.
Let's move to the next one, Miss Jaleesa.
Hey, thanks for having me back. I've watched every episode.
Shout out to you.
Thank you. And I just want to shout out B Botanicals, Mama Junelle's organic. She is fully organic. I want to shout out my cousin Sierra Martin, Sierra Styles DMV. She does hair. She did mine. These are microlinks. They're amazing. And I also want to just give a thanks to God. I have been untouched from COVID, my entire family, and just having my health and still being at work has been a blessing. So that's all for me.
Cool. Appreciate it. That's what's up, man. All the stuff. You might have to send that stuff to us so we can, put on our page, man. All the promotion you got.
Yeah.
So, moving on to some of the coolest guys in the world, man. Some of the great fellas, that I know. I'm gonna start with my man. He on my screen, he down bottom, so I'm gonna start with my man French, man. Go ahead, French, man. You introduce yourself and promote some things.
Good evening. Frenchie Johnson, one half of Future of the Retro. We cover all graphic design needs. I got the lady at the window trying to take my order.
Go ahead, man.
Okay, go ahead.
Pass it on, and I'll come back. All
right. Hey, man, let's go up, man. My man over here. What's going on, big time?
Man, how y'all feeling, man? It's an honor, man, to be on the show, man. First, shout out you and Kitty, man, for what y'all doing, man. And, this is beneficial. It's helpful, especially in the time that we in. So, I want to shoot y'all out first, man. And the consistency that y'all did, way to pick that thing up. And y'all kept running with it. Y'all on 2 seasons, talking about 3. So, that in itself is an inspiration. So I first just want to shoot y'all out. Like I say, it's an honor to be on the show, man. My thing, I just want to promote No Man Left Behind Ministries. It's all about men. If everyone saves one, then all will be saved. So it's all about getting one and bringing them with you. So I just want to promote No Left Behind Ministries, and that's a men's ministry that I promote.
And before we go back to French, you already know whatever you need from us, Pitt. You already know we got your back on that, man. I know that I know you have a prayer line and everything as well. That's something you want to talk about real quick.
No doubt, yeah. Every morning, 5:30 in the morning, we do a prayer line, a men's prayer line. We just get on the phone and bombard heaven, man. We just start our day with the person that we need to help us finish our day. So it's men, man, we get on the line and we just cry out to the Lord every morning, 5:30 in the morning to 6:30, Monday through Friday. Hopefully I can shoot y'all the number. Y'all can put it on y'all website. You know, if you up, get on. If not, we still got you. Either way, you getting blessed. So I'm gonna give y'all that number. Hopefully y'all can pass that on the website.
Yeah, we definitely will. We'll definitely put on all our pages and everything like that. Go back to you, French. I know you over there getting your grub to go back home. So
yeah, I apologize for that. Hold up, I'm on mute.
You good? We can hear you,
we
bro.
hear you.
Johnson, one half of Future of the Retro. We cover all graphic design needs. You know, there is no order too small. There is no order too large. You know, we get real personal with all of, you know, your needs. Also the founder of Mentality. It's a Black men's mental health group, pretty much. And we cover all topics from fatherhood to being a better mate. It's blossoming. It's a much needed conversation and dialogue between men, you know, just to build each other up. What else I have going on? Working on a gun club with one of my partners, you know, just trying to have some stuff exclusive for us by us, you know. Outside of that, you know, I want to commend you guys because what you're doing is very valuable and necessary. And it gives us a chance to exchange dialogue in the midst of all the foolishness that we're dealing with. So kudos to y'all, man.
We appreciate that, man. We definitely appreciate that. That's one thing that Kenny and I, you know, just trying to bridge the gaps between, you know, the males and the females, man, and make sure we get a better understanding of each other. So,
Hey, you good?
Yeah, she back on, bro. So, yeah, so, you know, just trying to bridge the gap between men and women, you know, making sure that we understand each side, you know, because, you know, this line is, what is it, women are for Venus and men are for Mars. So, you know, we just trying to bridge that gap. But we're going to go into this happy hour, and it was good to hear from the two fellas last, because I think some of the things that y'all just discussed, the No Man Left Behind ministry and the Mentality group, kind of pertains a little bit to the happy hour in a sense. I'm gonna let Kenny kick off the happy hour because he brought it to me. So we might start with y'all or the ladies, we're not sure. I'm gonna let Kenny decide that, but Kenny, let's kick this happy hour off.
Yeah. It's a good segue. We talked about, me and James talked about this since Wednesday. We've been talking about this and had a good hour conversation about it because it led into so many other things. And saw this meme. It's not a meme. It's a selfie on Facebook between a father and son. And the thing is, I'm gonna read his caption, and then you'll basically know what it's about. So a father, it's an image of a father with his 16-year-old son sleeping on his chest. I guess he fell asleep on his chest, and he put on a post, by far my favorite, in all caps, part of the day. My 16-year-old baby boy, who's my height, climbed in my arms and went sound asleep like when he was 16 months. Didn't want it to end. Never do they want to be my little babies anymore. Couldn't tell if my oldest son was waiting on his turn or saying, what the hell, with his expression. And my mama was concerned with one thing only, kissing her grandbaby. Moment over. So that image right there was something that I brought up to James, and we talked about it. And I just wanted to hear, like, I told him it'd be a topic to talk about and discuss relationship between a father and son, and even that image and, you know, that type of relationship that they share with that. I'm not gonna give my opinion. You know, I'll choose to see who would go first, and I'll ask Shantae.
I knew it was coming. So I don't like passing judgment without context. However, for the sake of this, I think that there's nothing wrong with that photo. Nothing wrong with the caption, nothing wrong with the purpose of the photo. I think too many times men wait for opportunities to show how hard or how macho or how manly their child is, and do not recognize that there are vulnerable moments that kids have. And at the end of the day, despite the many theories, a 16-year-old is still a kid, regardless. So he's still like, he's not an adult yet. So if he had this moment of vulnerability, I don't think that there's any reason to blink twice or penalize or pass judgment on this dad for just recognizing a moment that dads and sons have. They're just not usually documented. Or what we normally see with teenagers and dads is getting beat for doing something obnoxious, and that goes viral. Or they did something that now the dad is about to respond to, and he tells us the story before he goes and hits the kid. So like, I think that this is a moment to like celebrate Black family love, and that this boy was actually may have perhaps been raised by like a man that's not afraid of showing emotion, and taught his son that it's okay to be vulnerable in some moments. And I'll just stop.
Okay. How about you, Frenchie?
Oh man. I had a chance to see the picture before you and I had a brief conversation about it. And every time I look at it, I kind of smile. It was a pleasure to see. I think that it should happen more often. And I think it's one of those conversation starters that creates a shift, because, at one point, I couldn't tell my brothers, and when I say my brothers, I mean you and James, we couldn't say I love you without it being looked at as something weird. It had to start somewhere, and then it trickled down. I'm hoping that this image is something that trickles down. I think that often kids, young boys, we shower them with love until a certain age, and then we start this macho thing where that's not allowed. I think this was a beautiful moment that was documented that will cause a lot more fathers to be more affectionate with their older sons. Because the first thing that I wanted to do with my 14-year-old son was hug him when I saw it. It was absolutely amazing. I think that the people that may view it a certain way aren't at a certain level of growth that they need to be to understand an image like that. Not saying that that's wrong. It just takes a certain level to understand that that's necessary and needed. A lot of broken homes, or if you ever visit a prison and spoke to anybody, that figure that's missing, that created a lot of problems, is the male role model. Well, this is the complete opposite. So I felt like it was definitely necessary. I see absolutely nothing wrong with it. I hope to see more images like it. Like, if this was created a challenge, I'd definitely be on board for it. It's just images that you don't often see that should be seen. Like, there are a lot of passionate and affectionate fathers that do things like this on a regular basis. That's it. That's what I got.
Cool. Jaleesa.
Hey, so I'm going to be very transparent. There are two big reasons why I actually love that picture. And the first reason is the day my grandfather passed, and we were up at the hospital for so long that my dad was like, we need to go home and change our clothes, and we'll just come back up here. And when he got in the car, before he broke down, which was very difficult for me because I have one of those macho, crazy shooter nigga dad. So it was kind of weird. I'm sitting in the back seat like, but he cried out that I will never be able to hug my dad again. And my mom just had to console him, and he kept saying that to the point where it started making me cry. And they didn't hug much. So for me, I was just like, huh? But I get it now. I'm older, I'm a mom. And that's how that picture strikes me. Sorry. The other reason why I really like it is because my father and his son, my brother, they had a very tumultuous relationship growing up, and for many reasons. But not to go too deep into that because I don't want to piss him off. But now that my father is older and they don't really speak much, so I'm like always the middleman. Like, how's your brother? I miss him. And maybe 3 days ago, my brother called me like, man, I just be wanting to call dad up, and I just be wanting to go to him and just, spend time with him. So that's why I really love the picture, because I've seen both sides. I've seen the relationship that my dad had with his father, and I saw the relationship that he had with his son. And it's like a generational thing where everybody, all the men in my family on my father's side, they had their fathers there, but all of them have said that they needed more. And my grandfather was a hard worker. He was a very much so a provider. And you really only saw him at most at church and maybe Saturday after he got off work, because my grandmother was always stay-at-home wife. So to see that image, I'm just hoping, like Frenchie said, we see more of that. We encourage that. Like, my father's been in my brother's life his entire life. So to see them grow apart and struggle with that, it really warms my heart to see a man embrace his son, because now that my dad's older and he's calming down a little bit, and my brother's like, you know what, all that mess we fought over and argued about, it's really not that deep, because I just want my dad. So just pray for that relationship for me, and just pray that more men take to that image instead of looking at it as something, turn it into something negative. That's all for me.
Cool. Let's come to you, Big Pit.
I wish I had got a chance to see the picture. I haven't saw the picture.
So if this is what your image can be. He's a kid. He's holding his child, and he's laying on his chest, and he's sleeping.
And it's a 16. You said the boy 16. Okay.
Can you see that?
There you go. Okay. That's beautiful. That's a beautiful thing. I don't like it at all. Let me start by saying this. I like what it stands for. It's nothing like having the Black fathers be here today for their children, and it represents, love and being there for your family. I get it. But I'm raising a man. I got a son. I'm raising a boy into adulthood, into manhood. I would say that men are not born, they're made. So just because you're born a man don't make you a man. We live in a society right now where we see a lot of men going the other way. We see people being straight is not normal anymore. There's a lot of gay things, there's a lot of tendencies. There's a lot of, situations where it's being accepted and allowed, which is allowing them to transition into this kind of form easier than it would have been if somebody had stepped in and said something. I'm not here to say a picture represents that the father is being, is sheltering the boy, or the boy can turn another way. I'm not saying that, but I am here to say that as a father, it is my job to make sure I'm raising a boy into manhood, into adulthood, and then I establish certain ways that a man acts and how he lives and how he represents his life. Yes, love is major, but I also want him to be in tune with his feelings, but I don't want his feelings to cause him to go astray another way. So I would have to have in-depth conversation with my son at 16 and wants to come and lay on my lap and go to sleep. Am I going to always embrace him? Yes, of course. But I would have to go a little deeper. I think a lot of people mess up when kids are younger and they allow their children to crawl into bed and go to sleep with them. That's the worst thing you could do. See, some people think that's the set. Oh, it's raining. Let him in the bed with me. Okay, but yeah, that's cute now. but you don't understand what that passes on to a child, especially as a boy, and you're supposed to be raising a man. You don't understand what that passes on. So later on, when you're sitting there wondering how, oh, he's acting like this and that, how did this get here? I guarantee if you rewind the tape, it might have started with him laying on your lap at 16. It might have started with you letting him in your bed at 8 when it was raining, he wanted to crawl and you let him lay in your bed with you. So I'm glad for what it stands for. I'm glad that the C fathers are in there, because I think fathers get a bad rep that we don't love our kids and we not here. I love what it stands for, but I would caution us to see the other side of this and see the way society paints this picture, and don't be fooled to allow emotions to get mistaken, because it often can lead our children the wrong way.
Oh my goodness, man. Oh my.
Yeah.
Do you want me to go next? You know what, Shanta, I'm gonna go ahead. I mean, do you want?
No, you guys go for it. Just tag me in when you're ready.
I'll jump in. I won't be long, James. I totally agree with what Pitt was saying. When I first saw the picture, you know, for what the pictures stand for and what everyone, and first of all, there's no right or wrong. But all I'm saying is, for what the pictures stand for and for what everyone on here said about the connection between the father and son and how that's not being embraced more in the eye of the public, I totally agree with y'all. But when I see that image, the best word I can use without offending anyone, because I'm not trying to offend no one, is it looked different than what I'm normal and accustomed to seeing between a father showing affection to his son, let alone his 16-year-old son. That's just different from me. That looks foreign to me. So when I saw that, I talked to my mother about it. Me and my father don't have that type of relationship. The way that my father is the best father in the world. He's been there from the very beginning, provided everything for me, taught me everything I know. But the affection my father gave me was through conversation, and he made me feel good about it. But even down to the details, the way I hug another man, I'm dabbing him, and then we leaning in for the quick 2 second, and then we back up off. I mean, that's just the way I was raised. So when I see stuff like that, it looks foreign to me, and it definitely looks different. If I would have walked into a house and seen that, I would have felt like, whoa, I'm looking at that relationship a little bit more closely. And I just think, like, you gotta be careful when you're raising boys to be men. When you do things like that, you're gonna get what you ask for.
Okay, so is it my turn?
Go ahead.
I hear what everybody's saying. I get it, Kenny. I get it. You walk in the door, you see it. It's a shocker and everything like that. But I agree with the ladies in French, man. I don't see anything wrong with it, especially from a gentleman that didn't have a father growing up. So for me, you know, I never got to call anybody dad, and I always talk about it on the show. Like it always seems to come up. I didn't get to call anybody dad for the first 34 years of my life. So I never had that father and son love. Everybody I talked to was always an uncle, or it was my mom's husband. So he was never considered a dad. He was considered his name. So for me, I didn't get that. I even remember one time when my sister's dad came to pick me up. I ran to him because I was so excited to see him. And I went to go hug him, and something stopped me because I was taught this at a young age. Stopped me, and I'm maybe 8 or 9, and I stopped and I dapped him up. And it's just like a little bird, and it's just something that. But when I met my dad and he hugged me and he embraced me, man, that feeling of feeling protected, feeling vulnerable, feeling like I'm okay. You know what I mean? The emotions that went through, like that shit completed me as a man. For me, can't talk about you guys. You know what I mean? I understand where you coming from. I understand where you coming from, Kenny. But we all go through devastating things in our lives. And sometimes, like Fred said, I call y'all my brothers. I should be able to tell you I love y'all. I should tell y'all, listen, let me know when you make it home. You know what I'm saying? At night, if we out here having a good time at a real bar. You know, right now we at our virtual bar, but if we had a real bar and you drinking, I should be like, hey, text me when you get home, and shouldn't have, you know what? That's for the lack of a better term, that's gay. It shouldn't feel like that. I should be able to come to y'all if I'm going through some trials and tribulations and don't want to speak to a woman, because only you guys understand it, especially as Black men, understand something I'm going through and be able to actually damn near cry on y'all shoulders if I'm going through something that's messed up in my life. Like, I feel like that, and I don't feel as though like that picture, you know what I'm saying? You just because you raising him and because he laid in your lap, you still can differentiate, like, listen, that's cool, but you know, you still could talk to him and tell him what it is. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, if you're gonna go that route, whether he's tough or not, you're gonna go that route anyway. It don't matter what time you're on, because that's why it's a lot of down low brothers, because they've been told, don't ask, don't tell. You can't be this. You gotta be tough. And then when you start compartmentalizing that and your feelings and all that stuff, now you become emotionally unavailable because you're not even in touch with that side of yourself. So now you can't even provide that for your child or even the person that your significant other who you want to be with. So now, with that being said, you don't know how to handle pressure. You don't know how to handle, now you're depressed. You don't know why. Suicidal, you don't know why, because you're not even in tune with those things because you've been told all your life to be this tough macho guy. And then realize when you really needed a hug, you never got that because you've been told your whole life that men don't do that. And I'm not saying like you kissing his man on the mouth and like me. And then the crazy thing about it is, and I'm gonna go a little deeper. Me and Kenny was having a conversation. He said, "I see a man cuddling with his son." I said, "Cool." And he said, "When I see a man cuddling with his son, that's how I look at it." And I said, "Dang, okay, cool." I said, "You got daughters." So he says it's different.
It is. It is different.
He says it's different. I don't see, if you're gonna use the word cuddling, you cuddling as a father, you cuddling with your 16-year-old daughter is just as creepy if that's the case.
You a good lawyer. You'll be a good lawyer because you're playing with words.
No, I'm not playing with words. This is the words you used.
You a great lawyer, dog.
No, these are the words you use.
You changed the whole diction of that word, dog.
I think you hit the nail on the head, bro. Like I'm with you like 100% on that. Like just because I have a vulnerable moment with my father, don't mean I'm about to be a sucker or a punk. It don't. Like that one image doesn't mean that Shawty don't get reprimanded when he out of pocket. That don't mean that, you know what I'm saying, he ain't got to sit on the wall with his arms out like we had to do at basketball practice. That don't mean that. That just mean it's enough love in my house where I could go kick it with my father and show love and us not have to say a word. Man, that's beautiful, bro. That's beautiful. And everything that our fathers taught us, everything that they taught us ain't right, bro. Because we all know old folks say some stupid behind stuff. Everything is not legit that they came with. So we're supposed to evolve and become better out of that. Like everything my parents, like, look, my cousin, my uncle Kenny B, and my father Stevie J, man, them dudes was they were some tough fathers, bro. And we loved them for the men that they made us, but everything they did just wasn't right, bro. Everything wasn't right. We could tweak everything. We could learn from every experience.
Before you go, I wanted to hear what Shantae had to say because she did have something to say.
Yep, I just have 2 follow-up questions because I think sometimes we are quick to judge, but when we are put in that situation, sometimes we would make the same decisions as the people that we judge. Mm-hmm. So my question to you, Mr. Pittman, is one, if your son came to you right now, at whatever age he may be, would you stop him from embracing you or would you embrace him? That's my first question.
Of course I'm gonna embrace him without a doubt.
Great. So essentially you could find yourself in the same position that this gentleman found himself in, except for maybe you wouldn't take a picture and you're not a social media person, I assume. And so it may not circulate on social media. The second thing I'm gonna ask is, in the last 12 months, can you first agree or disagree that your son is between the ages of maybe like 5 and 16? Is he somewhere between that age? Yeah. Okay. Can you, in the last year, have you, because you mentioned a specific scenario of like, if my kid wanted to sleep in the same bed as me, like some things we got to cut off. In the last year, have you slept in the same bed as your son?
No.
I would like to say that that's a lie. Yeah.
In the circumstance, well, you know,
again,
but not me. Hold on. But not me and my, there wasn't me and my son. You gotta say, but I see what you're saying. I see where you're going.
Thank you for that. And then the third thing I would say is, does your philosophy put more pressure on the woman, the mom, the female to be more vulnerable and more empathetic towards the son and show more emotion towards the son than the male role may do? Like, do you feel like your approach says like, I'm going to make sure that he's the man, but then the woman or the mom has to make sure that he still has a sensitive side so he can empathize with the women that comes in his life when he gets older?
No, it's just overall raising. No, I mean, it's the responsibility of both parents. It's called balance. It's balance.
And
I mean, I would just say I'm not in disagreement, y'all, with the you should, our fathers, and we you should be there for your son. I don't want this to get misconstrued. What I'm trying to show you is the power of a photo op. That like don't miss what I'm saying. What was Trump doing when he got black people to come down there?
Right. I get you. Listen, I get what you're saying.
That's what I'm trying to show you. Yeah, like I'm trying to get you to see. Yeah, we get it, but look how this thing can be turned. Do you understand that most black molestation and stuff normally comes from somebody in the family?
Yes.
But do you understand that? Do you understand that this is prominent? This ain't nothing that this happens, y'all. Like,
I agree.
These things are real life issues. So what I'm saying is, be careful when somebody posts a picture like that. Just don't jump on black love, because I didn't see that. Kenny didn't see that. We saw something else, y'all. Okay. So don't knock us for what we saw. Because I'm not knocking saying a father shouldn't be, and I don't agree with the love part. I'm saying I don't like what it represents. Gotcha. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, and I'm not knocking what y'all said either. All I was saying was, like I said, when I flipped the script, it was a different thing. And you brought up something else, a molestation. If we talk about molestation, and now that daughter is laying on that father's lap, and that father happens to get aroused or anything like that, since we're talking about molestation, it looks the same. So is it different if your daughter, because if it was a daughter and her father, it'll be looked at differently. So
now, but you remember what conversation, this goes back what I was saying is different for the woman than it is for I said that. I said it is different. Me and you had this conversation before about how it differs women to men. And I've said, yes, there is biases when it comes to that. I get it.
That's baby girl for life. Like, my daughter is gonna be my baby girl for life. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like I see that differently from a 16-year-old son. Just he's sleepy and he just lays on my. I'm gonna say, dog, what's going on here? Like, what? I mean, I'm not gonna put him down or nothing like that. I'm just gonna say, like, what's going on? Like, let's talk. Let's talk about this.
We are only having this conversation because of what it looked like. Okay. We wouldn't be having this conversation if it wasn't.
I said this. If it was nothing wrong with that image, he wouldn't even took the selfie. Someone wouldn't have posted on Facebook, and we wouldn't be talking about it in the first place.
We wouldn't.
That's not even. I'm over that stuff too. I get that what y'all saying, but if you post anything could be misconstrued. It doesn't matter what you post now.
Anything is scrutinized. It don't even matter. Y'all know how much I love my daughter, and I post her all the time. If somebody got a problem with, he posts his daughter, somebody got an issue with something, regardless of what you're doing, bro. That's why it shouldn't be done for other people. It needs to be done for the love of whatever your passion is. Like, it is a double standard. You know what I'm saying? It's the times that we live in. We mad judgmental about everything, for real. I mean, it is what it is.
Jalise, you got something you want to say? Jalise, you got something you want to say?
I want to say it's a lot of people out here, and trust, I grew up with both of my parents, and I definitely have had daddy issues in the past. We're fine now because he knows I'll cuss him smooth out. But in the past, Kenny knows. And so people that have issues with their mom or with their dad, they'll see it in a different light. I'm not saying that's any of you, but when y'all said, like Kenny said, that's gonna be my baby girl forever. That's beautiful. But my father, he didn't see that in his household. He didn't see my aunt all up on my grandfather whenever she wanted. So when I came to him to try to be embraced or I'm feeling down, he'll talk to me. But if I need a hug, he'd be like, your mother right there. And that's just how he is. And I've chucked it up too. You didn't get a lot of affection. That has made it kind of hard to give it now that I'm an adult. Or I think it was like when I was a teenager, I started realizing he would just be grossed out if I had underwear on. And I'm like, this has never been a problem before. What the hell? And he would knock before he came in my room. And I'm like, you paid a mortgage, just open the damn door. So certain things, it just depends on, I think, what the person saw growing up and their experiences, how they'll view things. Because I see how Kenny's sister is with her dad. And I'm like, man, I could never even see me and my dad being this close. But that's what she's used to. I couldn't go up to my dad and joke with him like I can with Kenny dad, you know? It's different situations, Mr. Pittman. So don't get all hyped up. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I think nonverbal communication is powerful. So if you see a picture like that and they depict it as cuddling or whatever, your mind will go elsewhere because nonverbal communication is powerful. But if he would have posted that picture and said, you know, my son failed his final and I'm here for him, y'all would have felt a whole different kind of way. That's what I think. So
I even that image just,
it does something.
I don't care. I don't care what I don't know. I think for me, I felt like my dad was unnecessarily kind of standoffish and shut out. So for me, I look at him. It's you was raised on tradition, old school. See, my father old school. Like
that don't make it right. That don't make everything right.
I'm not. It don't make what y'all saying right. What I'm saying, there's no right or wrong. I'm not saying anything, but I'm telling you what it is. It's
right. I got
school.
you.
It's tradition.
Listen,
like
you go down this rabbit hole. Listen, guys.
Hey,
listen, man.
Kenny.
We can continue down this rabbit hole. We can continue down this rabbit
hole. Let us jump on Jaleesa. We need to jump down Jaleesa.
Nah, man.
We need to jump down.
We're not gonna do that. We're gonna Jaleesa, I got your back, man. We're gonna let it happen. But
Thank you, James. I'm ready though. I'm a walking dictionary, baby.
I know she is. She with the shits. But
we ready.
But you know, we gonna move on, man. We're gonna move on because we still got some other things that we want to cover. We can continue down that rabbit hole for the rest of the night, man. I mean, as you can see, it was a good topic. And I appreciate y'all insight. Like I said, I don't think it's really a right or wrong answer, man. It was good to hear y'all thoughts on it and everything like that. And I understand exactly, Pitt and Kenny, where you guys are coming from with what you guys are saying and not letting the message get misconstrued and everything like that. So I understand.
I just want to say responsibly, anybody, I mean, you raise your child the way you raise a child. I don't want that being construed either. Like, I'm not telling nobody how to raise their son. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being honest on how I really feel, and there's no changing that. And
I respect that. I don't want you to change it. I just want you to see it from a standpoint of somebody else's. That's it. Just like we're seeing it from y'all's. That's it. Moving on. Right. We usually do a part of the show where we may do a gotta get rid of one. Lately, we've been doing the versus thing and everything like that, but we ain't got nothing this week.
Michael Jackson versus Prince.
I'm still Team Gucci, by the way.
Oh, okay. You Team Gucci. Okay. He lost bad, but no worries.
I'm Gucci too.
We don't got nothing. We really don't have our game that we usually play. We apologize for that. But we're gonna keep moving and rock and rolling. So Kenny,
anybody need a refill or anything like that?
They already did. You don't read the comment. You don't read the section.
No, you wasn't even supposed to talk about that, brother. Like, come on, man. The viewers not gonna see that shit.
Yeah, listen.
Come on, man. Get this shit together.
You ask people to get refills and they don't even need it. Listen, hey. Wow, who was that? Somebody just burped? Oh, I'm tripping.
Nah, you tripping.
Oh, okay. Man. I'll put yours down, James.
Nah, man. Somebody must have slid something or something, man.
No refills for you, James.
Somebody slid something across the table or something. But while Kenny's coming up with that round one question, that first round, man, let's go around the table and see what y'all drinking on. hope Frenchie not drinking and driving, so I'm not gonna even ask him.
I'm gonna wait till I get back in the house and cruise.
Okay.
Yeah, sir.
How was through Pitt, what you sipping on up there, bro? It look like a little bit of whiskey.
On that whiskey, that Macklin, 12 years old.
Oh man,
Double
yikes. That's a big man drink. That's a big
That
grown man
grown
drink.
man, that's that not sleep on my chest drink. Hey man, don't you stop, man.
Hey,
That was
I'm gonna
actually
leave-
really funny, yeah.
Yeah, like listen, I like it, man. Shantae, what you sipping on down there?
The same thing that led us to a very bad night the last time I was on this podcast.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like in true tradition, we had to bring it back. So I'm on tequila tonight.
Casamigos.
Casamigos.
Yes,
Casamigos.
but I am pacing myself very different than the last time we were together so that I do not end up looking the way that I did that night.
Well, you figure that night didn't end at the end of the podcast. That's what happened.
Hey.
The
We had-
podcast kept
all I remember
going
was-
and going and going, and it
That
just
didn't-
didn't stop.
Jaleesa, what you sipping on? Yeah, that rosé.
Rosé in the clip.
5-year-old Moscato.
Okay, you on your wine thing tonight?
Yes, I bought this when I finished my master's, and now.
Congratulations on finishing your
Right.
masters.
Oh, that's old, but thank you. But that was
You ain't popped the bottle yet, so you celebrating still. Having a celebratory drink, so hey.
Yeah.
Ken,
Jalisa, every milestone is a celebration. You are a PhD student that has 1 year
thank
left. That is a milestone. A Black woman in science, that is a milestone.
And you, Shantae, like.
That is what we drink to tonight. We drink to the women in leadership and in power, and we drink to women who are pushing forward and breaking all of the narratives that are in front of us.
Yes, ma'am. I'm following your
We
footsteps.
drink to that.
I hear Shantae Mala hers.
There she goes.
Hey.
Shantae
For our Black
Mala.
women. Next women.
I hear the black girl magic is
I
heavy.
know,
in here.
Shantae Mala.
Hey, man, it's
No,
heavy.
world-
Shantae
Not
is
Kamala,
Black
but
magic.
Shantae Mala.
Black girl
Shantae Mala
magic.
hers.
Hey, this world can't survive without Black women. So I
Nah,
got
they
all my
can't.
respect for y'all.
We
Kenny,
wouldn't
what you
even
sipping
be
on up there, baby?
It will be a
I-
very bland world without us.
Yeah, 1800 Reposado, some little.
Yeah.
I'm taking shots tonight, man. I'm this like my fourth shot, but
Oh, you,
I'll
don't
be
play, you must ain't got nothing to do tomorrow. Cool. I'm on Terramana. Terramana Reposado tequila. I've been drinking it lately. It's the rocks. This
Let me
joint
see
pretty
the
good.
bottle.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
this
the
is
rock joint, right?
Yeah, so this is the rocks tequila.
Fancy.
So
Oh, okay,
I mean,
okay.
so yeah, if I'm drinking it, it's I love the Casamigo too. That's that George Clooney. But yeah, that's the rocks, and it's pretty good. The reps are smooth. French, I mean, I know you ain't drinking right now, you know what I mean, because you're a responsible gentleman. But what would you be sipping on if you was at home right now?
Oh man, I think I'm gonna have to holler at my essays when I get in the house.
Okay.
Definitely gonna holler at my essays. I might have some Jose,
Okay.
mixed with this raspberry tea I just picked up. So
Okay, friend.
Okay.
yeah, I might switch it up, but I'll let you know. I'll give you an update as soon as I get in the house.
Okay, you drinking that Josie Curvo? Josie
Get
Curvo.
it?
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Josie
sir.
Curvo. You know them joints lead the wild nights. Ask Shantae. Moving on to round one, Kenny.
Ask me, bro. Oh, shout out Black women. Love y'all.
Oh man.
Man, what a show so far. What a show, man. Kenny, what you got for us round one, bro?
All right. I hope I read this right. I hope I wrote it right after we discussed it. Did you have the time to take a look at what? Because it's your question.
Yeah, I did, but go ahead. I'm gonna see what you do.
All right. If I read it wrong, don't act like
I'm gonna let you be the point guard. I hope you don't end up like Westbrook. You know what I'm saying?
or Nate Robinson.
Yeah, Nate.
What type of? All right, let's go. All right, here we go. What type of woman does a man need for the relationship to be successful? Vice versa. What type of man does a woman need for the relationship to be successful?
And to go a little deep into that, it's not a general question. This question is really pertaining to you guys in general. Like, I mean, it's not general, but just like your personal feelings about what do you need. So with that being said, French, I'm gonna come to you first, French. I know that you are married and everything like that, but with that being said, you know, what is it, even with her, what was it that made your relationship successful? What did you need from her or from a woman to make a successful relationship? What you know, attributes, if you want to call it attributes, whatever.
So this is tailor made to me, not
this is not a general question. This is tailor made to you.
Okay.
And the reason why I say that is, I don't think anybody can make you successful. You be successful yourself. They can just add to you. That's just how I feel.
Okay, well, my partner in crime, my life partner, the support for my businesses, my ideas, my foolishness, someone that's been able to keep up with all that, organize that, and turn those thoughts into plans. The drive to not only back me, but be successful on her own, and allow me to be a man. Whatever you would want that term to be, that's what my wife allows me to be. You know, she lets me have my moments with the guys. She allows me to make the decisions. Not all the time. I don't need it all the time, but you know, those times that I need them, she's able to recognize what it is that I need within that moment, and we're able to come up with sound decisions when they're needed. So that's what it was for me. It was really that support for what I was working on or what I wanted to accomplish.
Okay. Shantae, Jaleesa, let's come to you, Jaleesa.
I'm so sorry. I'm on like number 4. I'm supposed to talk about
So,
I'm supposed to talk about why success. I don't know.
What do you need from a man to make it successful for a relationship for you?
Okay, so I have a unique situation.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna just say from your partner, because you know.
Yeah, she's
roll the way they were. Yeah, I'm just saying, but people are gonna roll the way they do.
Yeah, no, it's fine. So I'm in a pretty stressful situation, and it got even more. I'm not gonna say difficult, but my load became heavier when we got our surprise, my daughter.
Okay.
So for a Black woman to be in science is very difficult. We are underestimated, sometimes mistreated. We have to work 3 times as hard, where the Black man in science has to work 2 times as hard. And I know in certain careers it's different, but in my career, definitely Black women, we have to really claw our ways to the top. And a lot of us finish our degrees and we're bitter and we're drained. And most of us are not married or in any kind of relationship or have failed marriages. And I'm talking from experience. Like my mom's best friend is a scientist, and you know, not to put her business out there, but she tried the being engaged and dating thing. It's really hard. So for my husband, luckily we've known each other since high school, and he, you know, I've always wanted to be a scientist. So he kind of understood what it took. But for me, I would just need like my husband to be there for our child when I need to study, or I completely need to tap out and be in the lab for 14 hours one day, or I have some data to analyze and a paper to write to send for publishing. You know what I'm saying? Like it's little things that I need. Like when she wakes up, I'm gonna get her dressed. I need you to have her breakfast because I gotta get to the lab. My cells are time sensitive. Being cognizant that I'm not being negative, I'm venting. That's a big thing. I dated guys where I would complain to them about my lab or my class, and they would take it as, God, you being negative. I can't, you know, they would take it to something negative, where my husband takes it to, okay, talk to me. What's going on with your projects? Can your advisor help you? Like what, like let's troubleshoot. And he's good at troubleshooting because he works on cars on the side. So his mind he can put 2 and 2 together and try to help me figure it out, which is really cool because I'm in science and he's not. But just somebody to really support you through the good and the bad, when you fail tests and when you do good on tests, or when you submit a paper and you do a year and a half of research and the journal says, no, we don't want this. Like little things like that just keep a woman out of depression and keep a Black woman in a field where she's not wanted. That is what I need, and that's what I get from him. And it's not always perfect, you know. We're both, you know, we got married at 26 and 28, like we were young, so we've had to figure out a few things. You know, I might come home shut down and I don't want to talk, probably because I've been talking to NIH for 4 hours or something like that. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't care. He's just like, he doesn't take it personal. So I think it's tailored to the type of woman and what she's doing. But for me, I feel like any woman and any Black woman in any field, really to be successful this day and age, you need a man that is not sitting at home just trying to support you. Like you need a man that can support you and go for his own goals. You know what I'm saying? Like I've dated guys where they were so infatuated with my dreams and my goals. And they just like, oh, I'll be at your dorm when you get out of class. Oh, what do you want to do? Like, nigga, I'm sorry. What do you do? Like, what do you want to do? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need nobody that's just sitting there hand and toe, you know, waiting for me. I don't want to be nobody's trophy. And
Gotcha.
you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I think it's really important as a Black woman this day. You need a man that's going for his own stuff, and y'all can come together and just be a power force together.
Okay. Pip, so let me hear from you, man. What do you need from a woman in order for your relationship to be successful?
What do I need from a woman for the relationship to be successful?
Or y'all union, whatever you would like to call it.
I would say that I need her to drink Cosmigos. I'd like to drop that first. I believe I would need that first. That's the number one thing I would need for her to do. Then as we move forward, I would definitely need her to be stable. I would need her to be stable because I'm very much unbalanced. I'm a wild card.
Okay.
And you know, two wild cards don't work good together. So I would definitely need for her to be stable, well balanced. And the biggest thing of all, I need her to be sold out to Christ. That's my number. Believe it or not, that's my number two.
I forgot that part. I'm sorry, but go ahead.
Okay, Christ. Okay.
That's my number two of her being sold out to Christ. My first thing that we would need is a physical attraction. I mean, it does no good for me to love God and don't like her.
That is true.
Those things are very important. There needs to be a physical attraction like when she get through the door. You hear what I'm trying to say? Tonight when she get finished the cup, all right. It has to be an attraction. It has to be a physical attraction, and it has to be stability. It has to be understanding. I need conversation. I need deep intellectual conversation. I can't deal with people that can't talk on the level that I talk on. Right. So I need you to have some substance to you. You got to have something with you. You know, I mean, you got to be able to go beneath the surface. I don't like surface talk. So you got to be able to go beneath the surface. So with that, and you got to, and the main thing is that you got to love God, man. I mean, you know, we got to be pressing towards the same way. We got to believe in the same thing. We got to have God cover this union if it's going to be successful. Nothing is successful outside of God's covering. So with those things being lined up and intact, I believe a relationship will be successful.
Cool. I think you need also, if I can add, you need somebody that's tiling up for you.
Yeah. You gotta be.
They gotta be able to. They gotta be.
Yeah. You gotta. I'm different. Yeah. You gotta be. You gotta be. Yeah.
How many of you, Shantae?
Yep. So I think that Jaleesa, I think Ronald definitely brought up some valuable points. I think that as a woman who has like big goals and big aspirations without like a support system that is specific to me, which is what Jaleesa described, I don't think I would be half as successful as I am. I would say that, again, this is a question that, like you said at the beginning, James, you said it really just depends on who you are and what you specifically need.
Mm-hmm.
And like, so for me, being married, being divorced by 30 is like a big deal, but like not being married for like a year or 2 years when it's like the cute fun stage, but like being married for 7 years and then being divorced by 30 really
Right.
wakes you up. And it makes you reevaluate the values of your own life. And then it tells you everything that you don't want, but it doesn't quite define everything that you do want. And so I feel like, you know, I can say like, oh yeah, I was married at 22. I was married for 7 years and I still couldn't really define what I wanted in a man at the end of that journey. Right. And so it wasn't until I spent more time with myself that I was able to really clarify, like, what does it mean for me, and really stand up for what my values were and my self-worth without any influence from anybody else. And so I think with that, I think the biggest thing for me is, because of the choices that I have made in my own life, trust is the first thing that comes to my mind. Like, there is nothing else in a relationship without that word defining it. What does it smell like, look like, feel like, taste like? Like, you got to really understand what trust is before you can do anything else with me. I'm talking about, I won't let you, you know, like drive my car, come in my house, come to my job, know where I work without some of those things defined. And I think for me, trust is not with me. Like I will never trust a human being who is just authentically themselves. I think that whom I trust are people who are connected to God. And that's when I lean in more, is when like, you have a higher being and it's not me. Like, don't rely on me. Don't trust me, right? Like, have your own higher power that you feel like you are obligated to. And then I come right behind that, right? And so like that, to me, non-negotiable. There's no debate. I'm not waiting for you to do it, because I'm honestly, I just don't have patience, and I'm over it. So like, if you don't have that established, like, move on, you're not for me. So that's like my personal, I shared a lot. There we go.
Cool. I like that, man. I like both of you guys saying those things. You know, we tend to forget about the person that, you know, the man above. So Kenny, you want me to go next, or you want?
I think Frenchie is.
Frenchie
is
went.
he...
Frenchie
Oh,
went.
he did?
Yeah, you need to put that. You need to put that last shot down.
No bull.
Here you go. All right. Nah,
you want me to go, or you?
For me,
okay.
Nah.
Go ahead. My bad.
Yeah, for me, it's kind of like what you said. It depends on who you are and what you need. To me, God and physical attraction is 1 and 2 for me too. Those are the things that, I mean, of course, physical attraction. I mean, you know, you can see somebody in the room. They definitely that's the surface of going into a relationship for me. And then, you know, Christ as well, if it's going to go further. But you know, when I look at myself, I have so many flaws. Like, for one, I don't talk much. I don't show much affection. I don't communicate effectively in situations. I shut down a lot and all this. So it's like I look for the complete opposite in that category when I found my wife. So she's outgoing, she's outspoken, and then, you know, she's big on affection, which I'm still learning. She's big on communication and not just shutting down. And if there's a problem, let's address the elephant in the room. You know, she's working with me on those type of things. So I mean, those are the, you know, me finding someone that's the complete opposite of me, I think will give my marriage longevity, I would say.
All right, and I want to commend you. Before I start, I want to commend you, man, on doing the things like you said. You're trying to do a better job as a communicator, trying to do a better job of being more affectionate, man. Those are big things, man, because you're so used to being who you are. You know what I mean? It's kind of hard sometimes to be being comfortable with being uncomfortable. So I commend you on working on those things, man. You know, just want to give you some flowers or some roses while you're still here. You know, as a man, showing you my vulnerability. That's all. You know, just praising you. You know what I mean? When you should be praised. So moving on though, for me, when it comes to a woman that I need or the leading lady in my life, of course we already know physical attraction. I mean, I don't care, you know, how well-rounded you are. If you're not attractive to me, it's not gonna work. I need somebody that, you know, I need stability. I need accountability for me, because I need somebody to hold me accountable. Don't just let me get away with stuff. I need somebody to challenge me. I need somebody who has my best interests. I need somebody who's sociable. And I need somebody that's very confident as well. For me, those things, being sociable, confident, and I definitely need a woman that has her own friends. I definitely need a woman that has her own friends. I definitely need a woman that enjoys her own space outside of me and have a life outside of me, because I can't be your whole life. I can't be. I need my space. It is what it is. So I can't. Okay, on your Hornitos. I see you, French, on your tequila.
Yeah, you on
that tequila.
There you go.
Yeah.
French, let me see it, French. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, on that tequila. So for me, and some of those things I need, like for example, challenging me and holding me accountable, having my best interest, is like, I was reading a quote from Killer Mike, and he said he had $100,000, and he was about to go out and buy a car, and his wife said to him, and this is when he said he knew he had a wife, I believe. He was like, his wife said to him, instead of buying that car, let's take that money and put it into something that could continue to bring in income. So let's buy some property. Let's do something else with it. And for her to do that, you know, and have the best interest for him and things like that, and hold him accountable and putting him in a position to be a better individual, I think that's dope. And so, you know, not saying that I can't do it on my own, but sometimes you need somebody to pull you up on your coattail.
So let me put this question on the floor. Oh, go ahead.
I just wanted to piggyback on Kenny real quick, because he said something and did something that's very powerful in what he said. He expressed everything that he wasn't, and he wasn't looking for everything that he's not. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Most of us look for what we are.
Yeah.
I'm looking for my type. I'm looking for my person that looks like me. And if you don't learn to divorce your type, you would never find your future. He took what he was. Kenny, you just blew my mind. You said everything that you were, and you said, I went looking for what I don't have. Right. Do you know how that's balance? That's called alignment. That's really how Christ wants us to join. He don't want you to join with you. What happens when you face anything outside of you?
Yeah.
See, Kenny got his strongholds on his side. She got her strongholds on her side. So when they come together, they got everything complete. So that was powerful, man. I think the world does not see it like that. That's not how we were taught. That's not how we go looking. That's not what we're accustomed to. Everybody on your Facebook page agrees with you. Until you got some people that don't agree with you, you really ain't got no friends. Yeah. I don't need people to tell me what I want to hear. Tell me what I need to hear. So you got to have people challenge you. And that was good that you went looking for somebody that was everything that you wasn't, because she challenged who you are. That was powerful, sir. Yeah. That was powerful. That blessed you, sir. That blessed you.
And before you say that, the last thing I just need my woman to be in tune with me. Like, and what I mean by being in tune with me, like just knowing who I am, just knowing me in the sense of, and I would just keep it real simple. Like, for example, let's say I come home every day to my woman, and I smack on her butt, or I give her a kiss, and I don't do it a particular day. Instead of her saying, damn, I didn't sleep with you, I ain't the one that pissed you off, understanding that, hey, he didn't do something that he normally does, something may be up with him. find out. And you know, and I should do that vice versa, of course, but that just it being in tune with me, being you know, intertwined with me, being the yin to my yang and things like that. Really, I know that may sound cliche, but really being the yin to my yang.
Yeah. And I'll just leave this on the floor, like, just a follow-up question, like, what if the puzzle, like how we always say, we find someone that seamlessly fit us and to help us grow as a person and, you know, move forward, you know, furthermore in the future. What if the puzzle don't fit, but there's something there? I mean, that you can't describe, you can't put your finger on it, but there's an attraction there. Both you guys want to work and strive to something, but what if that perfect piece is not fit? Like, would you guys still try to pursue it?
Let me say this, and I'm gonna tell you, no, I'm not gonna try to pursue it. I'm gonna tell you why. She may be a great wifey, but she may not be my wife.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? She may be a great woman and a great woman, but she may not be, that may not be the woman that God has for me. So she can have all the intangibles, but regardless, if that's not who's for me, when it's all said and done, no matter how it is, that, like you said, that puzzle piece is never gonna fit. It may have the same angles, it may have the same curves, but it's not an exact fit. It's not an exact fit. So she may be a great wifey, she may be a great woman, she may be a great individual, she may have all the intangibles, but those intangibles may not be, I may not be her man, and she may not be my woman. So regardless, it ain't gonna work.
All right. Anybody else got something to say? Y'all good?
That's good, James. That's good. I think, like you say, a lot of times we got a lot of squares in our circle, and the problem is it can be your time and still not be your turn. Yeah. We get that confused because we're so based upon timing, and we think this thing is lined up right. But sometimes you have to step away from that thing and see it. See, I believe you should date all 4 seasons because we change according to the season. Every season you change. Something happens. It's just like the seasons change, you change. So I believe to get a full scope of a person, you got to go through a year with them. You have to go through all seasons of life to really figure out who they are. This is just my belief. I mean, everybody has their own thing. But you're right. I mean, there is a process of working through things sometimes, but you have to know when to cut it off. Yep. And that's the thing. We don't know when to say no. You know, we just keep dragging it on and you keep going on, but you already know it ain't gonna work. You already know. I would say don't ignore the red flags. That's what I would say. If you got the red flags, you see it coming, I would definitely take heed to it and definitely move in that direction.
Because I feel like this: if you continue to try something that's not working, you're just blocking your blessings anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
Blocking your
blessings
anyway.
Fact.
And that's maturity right there, Jay. That's maturity. Because this wasn't our mindset.
Oh,
not even 5 years ago. That wasn't our mindset.
Definitely.
Yeah, Fletch. You already
first of all, my mindset was, you know what? We can talk about that all
night. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, brother. Don't go into it.
I was about to say we ain't have no mindset.
Yeah.
We didn't even know what that meant.
Yeah, man.
All I know is in my mind, Kenny was a virgin till he got married, and I don't want to hear no different.
Keep drinking. Keep drinking.
Wow. All right, bro. That's cool, Kenny. Let you be a virgin till you was married. Yeah.
I got this, and Freddy will tell you, I got this good stigma in my family. People, I'm good.
Good, all right, man. Hey, good shit, man. Appreciate the convo, man. Appreciate it, man. How y'all feeling so far, man? Why you coming up with round 2?
Man, I'm trying to catch up, bro.
Just trying to act so.
But how y'all liking the questions so far, man? Talk to me.
Oh yeah, we good money.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, we put our heads together for this one.
Yeah, man. How you feeling, Shante? How you liking it so far?
I mean, it's good. I think the last question, I think it was an opportunity to learn, like, because it's only 2 women and 4 men. I think it's truly an opportunity to just listen sometimes and shut up and just take in what men have to say and see how you can adapt to that. It's just good to just listen and learn sometimes.
Okay, so since she said that, can I keep going, please? Because it's very rare that she
Hurry up and get the question, Kenny.
Keep going. Keep going.
Hurry up and get the question, Kenny.
Keep going.
That's
We got
So round two, Kenny, what we got, man?
Round two.
And this is this. I didn't pick the questions either by myself, so you'll see.
Oh, he putting a disclaimer on this one. Man, you know what? You're something else.
No, I don't even know what the question is, but
Yes,
I just
you do.
feel
That's why
like
you said that.
I feel like it may be something that.
All right, this next one, I just want to hear from the women first, or maybe the men.
No, the woman first. I love to hear from the woman.
All right. All right. Do you believe the things a woman asks for after a divorce, she's entitled to? Half for everything, cars, clothes, your drawers. I'm just representing the whole.
She broke me down to my brake pads.
This question is all too real. This question is too real, Chad. I don't know.
Reference Dr. Drake, the Dr. Drake.
I knew that's what I was gonna say. Is this around the Dr. Dre thing? So like,
hey, Shantae jump right in. Shantae jump right in.
Because sometimes I just can't. So I think that the Dr. Dre thing is out of my league. Let me start with that, because when you don't have all of those things, you don't yearn for those things, and you don't know what debating for those things looks like. So let me first say that. Okay. So whatever she's doing, I won't understand until I sit down with her and really get the knowledge that she's basing her decisions off of. So let me put that to the side. Now, when it comes to us as middle-class Black people who have middle-class things, who make middle-class decisions, then I think that we can reel our decisions back down to that level. And I think that, so specifically for me and my divorce, we left with what we came with. It was honestly, we're probably unorthodox. It was the most peaceful divorce that you've ever seen. There was no like, I want this. But did we lawyer up because we thought the other person might try something new that we had not seen in our 7 years of marriage? We did, but it was a waste of time, and it was a waste of money, and it was a waste of resources.
Got you. But let's just say, hold on, Shantae, let's just say, for the sake of the question, do you feel like women are entitled to all or half of what this man have put together? Have built over time. I remember, I can't remember what comedian said it. He said, I've got all this money, you come in with the paper bag, and then when we leave, you take the whole suitcase. Like, so do you think that? I think I would.
James, I'm just in a position where I just can't, I need more context. So like, I'm going to sit down with Dr. Dre and I'm going to ask,
okay,
would you have been this successful without her?
That's what I'm asking.
What contribution did she make to your success? And if she wasn't divorcing you and you had to make a decision about like, hey, I feel like you deserve this based off of your contribution, what would you first determine is the appropriate allocation for her? I think that's what I would first want to know before I start any conversation.
Okay, but like I said,
didn't she say she owned his name?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, it was a lot of things that she asked for, and I know Kenny's referencing the Dr. Dre thing, but I'm just talking about in general. Of course, middle-class Black folk, we don't have that type of money that Dr. Dre have and some other celebrities have, or some people that have that type of money. Millions on top of millions. But if we did, and everything like that, Shantae, do you think that a woman is entitled to that?
No.
Okay. And why not?
Because I think it goes back to Jaleesa's point at the beginning. Like, if I'm coming in with something and you're coming in with something, what do you get of? Why do you feel like you are owed anything of mine, and why do I feel like I'm owed anything of yours? Like, it's at a certain point where you have to just say like, shit, I didn't have this when I met you, so I'm not gonna have this when I leave you. And you just got to be humble enough to accept that. And like, don't pride yourself on the fact that you're with a celebrity, or you with somebody with a strong last name, or you with somebody that got some fame and fortune. Like, at a certain point, we got to humble ourselves and say like, I won't shit before I met him. I ain't gonna be shit after I'm done with him. And like, that's okay.
Cosby goes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, Jaleesa, let's come to you, Jaleesa.
All right.
Cosby.
You're stupid.
So for me,
Uh-oh.
I don't want shit you got, and you can have everything you're giving me. Take the Beamer, keep the damn house, because I'm gonna make sure. Like, to me, if we go there, I'm unlike Shantae, maybe because I'm still need to grow up. If we go there and we're getting a divorce, like, you can take your Beamer, you can keep the house, because I'm more than likely going to try to show out and get a better one, and a better car, and like, we can boss up together. But if you want to go separate routes, then my life is not going to be surrounded around trying to show you out. But yes, I am going to stun a little bit, because for however many years that I was married to you, we were there for each other. We leveled up, and I'm not about to let you see me down and out, or drag me through the mud. I'm gonna still look good, feel good, buy good. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so you don't want the money, but you're going to still show out.
No,
So you
I'm
don't
gonna
feel as
have
though
my
you're
own.
entitled.
I'm gonna have my own, because just like I didn't go to NASCAR school with him. I didn't pay for his LLC, none of that. So whatever, if we go our separate ways, me and the things that God has given me and the things that God has blessed you with, we're gonna go that way. And especially because we have a child together, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not here to tear you down, and I don't think he would ever try to tear me down. But what I'm saying is, regardless of her being in, like Shantae said, I can't imagine or fathom what Dre's wife life was like. But it really makes her look whack and weak that she's sitting here feeling entitled to all these other things. I would have told him to keep all that shit. Obviously, she was sitting there watching his success and helping his success, whatever she did for him, but she didn't take the time out to cross her T's and dot her I's. Every move I make is for my family. And in the moment we're not a family anymore, you know what I'm saying? It's now just me and God and taking care of my daughter. And I'm not about to be out here assed out at all, ever. I didn't come to you assed out. Now, if a woman comes to you assed out and you help her level up in life, that is her fault. And that is your fault for marrying a woman like that. You married a woman that you knew was bummy, and you leveled her up. And now, what did you expect? You thought she was going to go back to bummy? No, she's not going to go back to bummy. With me, thankfully, my parent, I grew up, I was blessed to grow up in a middle class household. So my parents have never let me go without. I'm a stranger to struggle. And so regardless of what happens in my situation, I know that I'm gonna be good, but every woman's not like that. There are a lot of women out here like her that come to you, looking real, just bummy, and and I don't know what the hell do you expect? Like, what is in the weed that these men get these? I call them experiments or projects. You get these projects, and then you're so surprised when shit goes left and she's trying to rob you. That's all.
Okay, cool. Well, let me come to you, French. French, let me come to you.
Okay.
Do you feel like a woman is entitled to if successes of the person that holds all the money?
Man. So my point of view on that topic, I'm trying to be general with middle class and bridge the gap to the celebrity status. I think that you have to be careful with who you create a union with, who you create babies with, all of that stuff. I think what I think a woman should get something. But I think some of that stuff is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it has to do with sticking it to you before you leave, making it sting as much as I can to try to replicate the pain that the emotional party of the relationship dealt with. Yeah. I think and to jump into that situation and not having very much knowledge of it, I feel like Dr. Dre's ex-wife, that name thing, that did it for me. That did it. That did it. Like everything else, I'm like, you know what I'm saying? He be all right. He a millionaire. Yeah, she asking for a lot. But when she did that name thing, it was like, oh man, she really reaching for the moon. She just playing the land amongst the stars. That's all she was doing. I don't think she even planned on winning that. I don't think she really cared about it. But if I make a bogus enough request, at least I'll get in the ballpark figure that I really want to be in. I think that's what that was all about. That was ridiculous. No, you don't deserve his name. Your karma coming back somewhere. It may have been his karma. I don't really know, but no, I don't think they're entitled to everything. But I do think they should be afforded something. Most definitely. I mean, like, if something breaks down, like, you built this thing together, regardless of me doing the manual labor or not. Yeah, you should get something, but like, let's make it make sense now. Like, come on, don't be over the top with it. That I'm telling you, that name thing really threw me for a loop, bro. I didn't even pay attention until I seen that.
For me, it was a phone bill. That was it for me. It was a phone bill. But
yeah, her trumped up expenses. That was nuts.
Yeah.
Again, I didn't even bat an eye at that because I know if I ask you for $100, Jay, you may say, you know what, French, I ain't got 100, but here go this 50. That's all I really was looking for anyway.
Right.
That's all I was really looking for. I think it was one of those type of scenarios. Like, come on, that was super ridiculous. And that's just a tactic or a practice that's used often. Don't say you want, you need $20 and ask for $20. I gotta shoot a little bit higher so we can go back.
Make sure I find it, because I might get the 40. But even though I need 20, I might get the 40.
All that entails is Dre fucked up. Players fuck up too.
Nah,
She try to go for everything.
Fit, what you think, man? Do you feel as though a woman is entitled, and of course we talking about the woman, so do you feel as though the woman is entitled to, the riches or the earnings of a man who's making a substantial amount of money?
I think before you answer that question, you have to go back to the premise and the basis of the marriage. It's scary to hear people speak today and negate the significance of marriage. Right. What we have to understand is when you marry somebody, you marry into everything. You marry into the good and the bad, meaning I can't give you back this bad credit you brought in, right? So I just sometimes it bothers me that we don't look at the situation in totality. She's 100% entitled to do what she did and what she's doing in this marriage. Look, all this was mine too. I don't care who got it. It don't matter that he did it first or he's the big name. When I married into this, what's his is mine. Period. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. So now that we are separating or divorcing, that don't take away from what we were. You can't change a structure because now we're leaving it. The items that were involved in the structure are still there. So meaning if I want to take away from that, or I want this and that, and you give me this and that, she's 100% entitled to that. Because at one point that was hers. And now that we're breaking apart, doesn't make that not mine no more. Because it was mine. The same thing that if he took anything from her or whatever they got together, this was our pot. So I think, like you said, we have to be careful. What bothers me, because it actually diminishes the power of marriage when we say she can't do that. See, that makes me think that it wasn't real from the beginning. Because we didn't say that going in, because when coming in, it was all mine. It's us. It's ours, baby. Now that we break it, no, you take yours, I take mine. No, it don't work like that. It was ours, it's still ours, and we gonna divvy this shit up. I mean, we gonna divide this up as necessary. And she's 100% right. I would go in too. For what? What?
So I gotta give him my PhD. I gotta give him my PhD.
No, I'm not talking about giving your PhD, but that's your stuff. Well, I can't take I can't take what you got, man.
You can't pick and choose what you divide, pick.
Hold on. Now. That's your learning. I can't take the learning. I can't take the schooling now. I mean, I can't take the schooling, y'all.
Well, if you take my coin, if I work my way to NIH and you think you're entitled to my NIH coin because you sick of my ass?
Yes, because wasn't the NIH coin one of mine at first when me and you was together?
No.
Wasn't that okay? So if that coin was never a part of mine, and that was just your coin, then you right. But in a merge, I thought I got to use the same coin you did.
Oh no. I see what you're saying. There's one pot, but I don't know. Maybe it's different in each household, but there's one pot for bills, and then there's your income, and there's my income, and nothing. Everything is for our child. But
that's true.
But it's my parents don't agree with it neither, but it works for us. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. My parents don't like it. My parents, every drop they make, it goes to one account. Mm-hmm. They've been married for like 30 something years, and it works for them. Right. Mm-hmm. No, for some reason, I just feel like I need more time, and my husband is fine with that. I'm like, let me get to 10 years. Because, like I said, we got married early, but everybody's situation is different. And that's not to say that I'm thinking of a prenup or I don't think we're going to make it. I wouldn't have married him if I didn't think I was going to make it. You know what I'm saying? But anything can happen. Like, God forbid something happens to him or something happens to me or something like that, then everything will be as so much. But some women are in high profile positions or going to be in my case. So it's like you got to be really careful about that, we can have our one pot, but let me just keep this to the side. And also it depends on the maturity of the man. There are a lot of times that my husband will tell me, look, put this money in a savings so I don't touch it, because he knows he's not, I'm not going to say not mature enough, but he knows
financially responsible. He's not the most financially responsible.
Right. So he'll give me stacks because he know I'm not going to touch it. You know what I'm saying? So some situations are different. Now my parents, they can put stacks in the bank and say we're not touching this. I cannot trust my husband will not touch stacks. No, baby. So it's just, I don't know. That's just me. But maybe when we turn 40, it'll be different. We'll just have one bank account. That nigga need to calm down first though.
I ain't gonna never. I don't believe in that one bank account thing either.
Me neither.
I don't believe in the one bank account. I'm never gonna do the one bank account. Now we can have an account for bills, but I'm still gonna have my play money. I'm not gonna put all my money. I'm not gonna put all my money in the one pot.
That is untraceable. That is only mine. That is serves in the purpose of me. I totally agree.
Here's the thing with that. Oh, go ahead.
Nope.
I mean, before we get on track, because we could talk about that too, but let's not get on track.
I wanted to know, like, how far are you willing to go to fight for those things that you just described? So, like the Dr. Dre situation, it wasn't like he asked or she asked and then the other person agreed to it. It's like we're at level 8 now of like, she wants this, he said no. She wanted more. He says no. She wanted more. And like it's a constant battle. So when do you forfeit and just say like, what's the most important thing to me? Is the most important thing getting divorced, or is the most important thing walking away with something? So like then you have to reevaluate like, what is it for you that you want that's most important to walk out of this? Because now we've been watching their divorce for months. This isn't like it popped up on social media this week. We've been watching it for months. So like,
they still going through it? They still going through the divorce?
Yes.
I don't even know.
I think Frenchie said they're on. The last thing I saw is they're now on a battle of last names. Like, when are we willing to forfeit and just say like, you know what? I bow down to this. I submit to this. You can have it. I'm gone. Because the most important thing to me is for me to be disconnected from you. It is your soul. It is your demeanor. It is something about you that is bringing an evil spirit over me, and I need to disconnect from it.
That's fine. That's fine. I'll take my evil spirit and some money as well. I mean, I
Get me
you know, I
started.
don't
Don't get me
get that.
started.
Like
Don't
I
get
mean,
me
I
started.
take my even feel that somebody is with. Here's the thing,
Don't
like
get me started.
I'm just saying, like, let's not
Get
sound
us
good.
started.
I don't care. I don't care about, at this point, we all evil. I don't like you, you don't like me. That's understood. Here, look, I didn't raise a quitter. I ain't about to quit now. I'm going, what? You think I'm gonna bow out? That's not being humble, that's being stupid. I'm not gonna bow out of something where I'm just gonna walk away and allow you to get the leverage. No, we fought our whole marriage. We definitely gonna fight now that we exited.
Well,
What,
I
you
would
think I'm
say
gonna
this.
stop fighting now?
We don't know their committed spirits to this, right? Like, it's a personal preference at this point. It could be tomorrow where she forfeits all of this and we never hear a thing else about Dr. Dre's divorce. Or it could be that he's like, you know what, F it. I'm gonna give her everything she wants. I'm not debating this anymore. And then we're done with it and we'll never hear another word of it. We've also seen and heard about divorces that get so ugly and then both people reconcile and they become one again and they get remarried later in life, or they become back in a relationship later in life. So really, like, the definition of an ugly divorce doesn't really dictate what your future will be like, or where your heart lies. Sometimes it's resentment, it's anger, it's frustration, it's built up emotions that we will never be able to explain unless we were in it with that person.
Okay, cool. So let's answer this question too, Kenny. I guess for me, I kind of feel like Pitt do a little bit. For me, if I took the time out to marry this woman, I truly love this woman. I was giving her everything that, came with me. And at one time, I loved this woman with everything that I had. And now that we're having a bad breakup and everything like that, or a bad divorce, I'm definitely gonna make sure she's straight. You know what I mean? Like, I'm definitely gonna, make sure she's straight. Like, I entitled to everything, I don't know. But I'm definitely gonna make sure that she's able to walk away from this and be taken care of.
I think you have to keep your mind straight though. Like, what is
but like I said, like what I mean is, like, let's say I think she said her phone bill was supposed to be $900,000. That's not straight. I'm gonna make sure that you're taken care of. You know what I mean? But and I'm gonna make sure that the kids are taken care of, especially if you took the time to sacrifice your life to be my trophy wife, or to be the one at home while I'm on the road doing everything, because it does take a lot. I mean, like I said, my mom was a single parent, so it does take a lot to raise kids. It does take a lot to keep a household together. It takes a lot to keep a household together. It does take a lot to do those things. So,
am I the only person who didn't know who Dr. Dre's wife was until now, or was this like a thing, or was she like?
Ain't nobody know who she was.
Okay. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying.
She was a regular.
Right. But what I mean? So, like, I'm gonna make sure that she's good to go. I'm gonna make sure the kids straight. So if it's something dealing with private school and things like that, I'm gonna make sure the kids straight. Now, do I think that my kids need to wear? The one thing I don't believe is maintaining a lifestyle. And what I mean by maintaining a lifestyle, certain things you don't need. Gucci are not gonna dictate your life.
That might be the only thing that I agree with. If you was doing that for all these years, that should maintain. That's probably the only thing that I agree with.
So I'm gonna maintain a lifestyle, but it's to a certain extent. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna make sure you're straight. I'm gonna make sure that the car that you came in, the car that you got off me, the house and everything like that, I'll make sure that you're straight. I'll make sure that you're taken care of. But at the end of the day, do I believe that you should live off me for the rest of your life? No. We've separated. We're moving on amicably. At least we're gonna try to. Then here's this, here's that. Here's some startup money to do whatever you want to do. And that's that. And I'm wiping my hands with it. That's what Mike did. Mike gave when he divorced he divorced his wife, he gave her the money that she asked for, cut her a check for it, and he's been making money ever since. My money not gonna stop. My money not gonna change. So, like, I think Mike Jordan made more money outside of his wife. You know what I mean? So my money not gonna change. You know what I mean? Like, if she need this little small island for her, you know what I mean, or whatever Mike gave her, he gave her $42 million, and that was half. Now he's a billionaire. He didn't really lose. So here's what you want. You know what I mean? This, that, and the third. We can come to a common number, and then let's agree upon the number. It's not outrageous, and let's just go ahead and move on. You know what I mean? You sacrificed. You did what you were supposed to do. You was my wife. Fine. That's how I feel.
I think it's circumstantial, but yeah.
I think I totally disagree. Fuck all that shit. You leave. The same way you came in this marriage is the same way your ass.
My brother.
Like the famous words of my man Pimp C. He said, if you're a cartoon character on your first album, you need to be a cartoon character on your last album. Because the way we started is going to be the way we finish.
The only person that needs to be
how I feel on the situation.
Fuck you being good. I'm sorry. Forget you being good. The kids need to be good. Fuck your good.
I'm not paying. Like you want to leave, so why do you want to leave me? So why the fuck I gotta give you my money? Why I gotta give you my car?
It all depends, but it all depends on why she leaving too.
Everything that's on my credit is on me. You know, 50 Cent said something that stuck with me too. Now, and y'all know I like 50, but like he said, he knows some of the richest men in the world. And I think one time this Jewish guy invited him, paid him $1 million to come and sing in the club. Just one song, 5 minutes. And he sat down and talked. He's like, man, he was just curious on him spending the money. He was saying some of the worst. This billionaire said some of the worst investments that all billionaires make is marriage, because you're gonna end up like Dr. Dre.
Wow.
Now for me, to be honest, and I want to ask the women this too. If I ain't gonna lie, if I had that type of money, or if I know that I'm successful, you signing a prenup or we not getting married.
It's not even that. Like,
let me tell you something.
On my salary alone, I'm gonna tie this shit up in court. We Shante was saying, how long are we gonna?
I'm not tying up. I'm not tying nothing up in court.
I'm willing to tie this shit up in court. I'm gonna be the last nigga standing.
Nah, I'm not about to pay a lawyer.
Litigating.
Listen, let me tell you something. I'm not about to pay a lawyer all this money for her to then say we settle for a dollar bill. No, you're gonna sign this prenup, and if you don't want to sign a prenup, we can just live. We can live as boyfriend and girlfriend for the rest of your life.
What if she's smart and the freaking prenup expires and she just holds out to the prenup?
Don't worry, I'm just as smart. The prenup won't expire.
She definitely
don't even worry about that.
The Billy before she did that.
Don't worry, the prenup won't expire. I'm just as smart as she is.
It's like I say, it goes back to the origin of marriage, and this is why they don't work. Because we're always, how do you go into something talking about a lifetime preparing for it to not work? Like it's and I get it. We're looking at protected assets, but if I'm really going in with you for it, I'm not looking at that. I'm not. Them things shouldn't even be at the forefront of my mind. And if they are, then I think you need to question marriage in the beginning. Like if I'm more concerned about my cars and my house over the body, look. There was they talked about tithing at the church. And this is just a quick story. They talked about tithing at the church. And don't you know how they do baby praises when you bring your baby to the front and the pastor pray over the baby? I had a friend that went for a baby blessing, but he don't believe in the tithe. He said, I don't believe in giving 10% of my money to Christ, but I do believe that, Christ said, your first seed, God, the pastor should pray and pray over your baby. And I just told him, so you trust God with your seed, but you don't trust him with your paper. I think we're so backwards. You're more concerned about your assets and your money and your vinyl and your cars than you are the entity of a person that you're talking about intertwining your life with. It's amazing to me the value that we put on things and devalue the people that brings them. I don't get the correlation with.
I look at it like this though. Like I'm saying, I don't. In my marriage, I'm not thinking about it. I'm only thinking about it when it's a problem. She tells me if she wants to walk out tomorrow, that means you leaving this marriage is to better your life. So why do I have to give you something to better your life? You might as well stay with me. You know what I'm saying? Like if you choose to leave me, why do I gotta pay you to better your life?
And I feel like this, Pitt, just like you said, if we about to intertwine my life, sign this prenup because the money don't matter. You in it for me and not my money. So,
Okay.
and my
Okay,
assets. That's how I feel.
Which is true, but which is true, but I'm not gonna. But you're already preparing for a divorce.
I'm not preparing.
You're preparing for that. Yes, you are. You are. A prenup is preparation for a divorce.
We talking about rich people problems, man, and we not rich, bro.
Yeah,
we talking about
that's what I'm saying.
Nah, I've seen middle class people go through this too.
Yeah, middle class people.
I have family members that been through this. Close family members.
Chris Rock say it best? Didn't he say that in one of his joints? He said something like having $1 million or having $50 million and you split.
It's same problem.
50 million mark, splitting 100. Okay, having $100 million and splitting that in half with your wife that you about to divorce, and giving her $50 million is different from splitting $50,000 and turn around and have to live on $25,000.
I think we fight more. That's
that
why
is totally
different. Up in court.
That is totally different.
She's not getting away.
She's
not getting away with nothing.
Listen.
Let her try. Let her try. I have a prison ministry. let her try.
I'm just saying. What? Having $100 million and giving up half of $100 million, you still got $50 million. Having $50,000 and giving up half, now you at $25,000. Ain't nobody living on $25,000 and watching your wife tiptoe over here doing her thing. Because first of all, if you're only making $50,000 a year, no disrespect to anybody that's making that, your wife has to work. Because both of y'all can't live off that $50,000.
I'm gonna tie that shit up in court so long. If I was a millionaire, she probably gonna try to pay somebody to kill my ass.
I'm not tying nothing up in court. I'm not giving them people my extra money just so you can come to a common denominator. I mean, we can come to an agreement on what dollar we got. Nah, I'm gonna let you sign this. You're gonna sign this prenup, and that's that.
No, you ain't gotta sign nothing, cuz if you don't want my brother and my cousins to come after that ass, you just gonna leave peacefully.
I'm not listening. You know what? I don't even want that problem either. I'm trying to enjoy my money. I don't want to just not enjoy my money.
Exactly, because if you leave me and try to take something of mine, you're going to have to take that money with you to Jesus.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, all right. So we're gonna move on to the
upper room. But before we move on to that last question, I'm gonna wait to Pitt and Shantae stop playing footsies.
That's her dad here bothering me, man. She bothering me. She trying to get that prenup.
But before we go on to the third round, man, we always like to toast. And what we've been doing lately, it's 2020 has been a rough year. As we already know it. A lot of people losing their lives due to COVID, whether it's real or fake, man, because a lot of people think it's a conspiracy. I seen something online that was crazy. It said, we don't have a cure for AIDS. We don't have a cure for cancer. We don't have a cure for something else, but in 1 year we have a vaccine for COVID. So it was crazy to see that, but with that being said, man, I lately on the pod, we've been giving out toasts. We've been doing a toast, and we've been doing a toast to something positive. So everybody raise their glass. If you don't have anything in it, pour something in it, and just raise your glass and just toast it. And we're gonna go around the bar, the virtual bar, as we call it, and we're gonna toast to something, man. Everybody toast to something positive, man. And
2020 been good to me.
That's good, man. That's good to hear. You know what I mean? Because one thing I did see that I ain't heard nobody say 2021 gonna be their year yet. I ain't heard that yet.
Man, listen.
So, but before we
was my year.
But everybody raise their glass to the screen. Raise your glass to the screen, man. And we all gonna toast to something. So Shantae, starting with you, man. Toast to something.
How was he called on first? I am probably toasting to, while I empathize with people who have suffered in 2020, my family has been blessed. We are COVID-free, are in good health. Thus far, on December 4th, happy birthday, Jay-Z. We are in good mental states. And I think that is most important right now to acknowledge and celebrate, because it is not COVID that is necessarily killing people. It is the complications to COVID that are killing people. And then it is the mental mindset of the families that are affected by that, that we then have to interact with and tolerate. And that then has an impact on us. And so while I have worked and I have interacted with a lot of people who have been hurt by the virus, I think I can't stop thanking God for the idea that my family is covered right now. So I am toasting to that. I think that is enough right now to just be thankful for, because COVID is taking folks out left and right.
Oh,
Yeah.
Delisa, what you want to toast to?
I just want to toast to for me, I want to toast to the teachers, the whole school experience, like from the principals, the deans, from elementary, middle, high school, college, because this 2020 situation has been rough. And I feel like it's taken a lot of intelligence, it's caused a lot of families to have to change up things. I've had to change my office to my daughter's class. It's like so many things have changed, and yet the teacher that my daughter has, my professors, my advisors, they have not let it stop them from pouring into me. It hasn't stopped them from pouring into my daughter. And I'm just so thankful. And also, I have family members that are doctors and nurses. And also my best friend Akia is a nurse. And every time they step in the building, they're really just trusting in God to protect them. And so far, like, none of my friends or family members that are doctors, nurses, any of that have been affected by COVID, like Shantae said. And that's
I don't mean to cut you off, but that was that good man you was talking about that just walked in the room, wasn't
it? Oh yeah, I didn't see. No, what'd he do?
Hey, shout out to that brother. Shout out to that brother. No, he poked his head and he left out. I just want let's shout him out.
Oh God, he has a drink.
Don't let him
Amen.
What up, boy? What up, boy?
Oh God.
What up, boy? How you, baby?
All good, brother. All good, man.
That's good to see, man.
Prenups and shit. I said he could have his Beamer in his house.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what? I ain't gonna eat. No, listen. Keep your mouth shut. Don't get no trouble. Don't get no trouble. Just keep your mouth shut. Don't get no trouble.
Yeah, I'm trying to join his bank account, though. I am.
I just want him to know you were saying good things about
Yeah.
Say that again, please, bro. Say that again.
Hey, all I wanted him to know was you've been saying good things about that man. That's all. I wanted him to be in here for that.
Because he always says I'm on his case.
Hey, listen, man. Accountability. Listen, accountability is golden sometimes. Accountability is golden sometimes.
Let's go.
Yes. You see, my words are few and far between. Yes.
Hey, Frank, coming to you, bro. What you want to
First of all, I want to make sure Jaleesa was finished because
I'm sorry, Jaleesa. Were you finished?
No, you're fine. I just wanted to toast to that, because I am literally always worried about frontline workers, these teachers, and truth be told, there are teachers meeting up with students, on the low to tutor them because the parents are just overwhelmed. Like, this stuff is really happening. There are teachers.
You find out your kid bad as shit. That's what you really find out.
But I have a friend that's a teacher, and there was a student that she knew her family didn't eat every night because they couldn't afford to. And she brings them groceries every week. And I'm not going to disclose who she is because she's not the type of person that want to boast. But there are people, really good people out here teaching and keeping it pushing. That's all I want to toast to.
So, okay, cool. French, you.
Hey, man, listen. Shout out to COVID. Shout out to COVID. But let me explain though. During this quarantine, right? My daughter was born January 29th. There has not been a day that I have not seen her go to bed or wake up.
That's dope.
There has not been a cry that I have not heard.
Aww.
There has not been a smile that I have not seen. And all of that is because of COVID. I have not had to leave my house to do anything.
Wow.
I'm able to work from home. I'm able to move my family into a new home during COVID.
Wow.
Man, listen, I've gotten married during COVID. I've had a baby during COVID. I've moved during COVID. I started a new business during COVID. Man, the list goes on. So shout out to COVID because all of this stuff has happened and I've been able to be here for my family because of this pandemic. I've been able to make the same paycheck and not buy gas to go to work.
That's dope.
Shout out to COVID.
Good bread. Let me hold a couple dollars, French.
Hey man, what you need, brother? Hey, look.
All right, hey, look, Pitt, let's make it real quick, man. You know,
Man,
what you want?
Just shout out to New Beginnings, man. You know, first shout out to a change in our fleet leader.
Yeah.
You know, shout out to Joe. Shout out to him, man. You know, shout out, man, to life never being normal again.
Right.
It'll never go back to the way it was.
Okay.
It's gonna be a new normal.
I agree.
So shout out to creativity. We're gonna have to change things up. Shout out to adapting to something new. Shout out to challenging brothers and sisters, man, and us holding each other up in this time. Shout out for us still connecting, finding a way. I ain't never been on Zoom. I've learned how to use a computer during COVID. Technology has been my only way.
Yeah.
Shout out to me not having to go to so many meetings no more, because now I can do it all. I mean, these things we should have been doing.
Yeah, I agree.
It's a new way of life, French. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking? And it'll never be the same again. Shout out to a new way of life, man.
Gotcha.
New way of living, man.
Hey, Kenny.
Nah, well, it's like I'm a true believer in God, so everything. I mean, we lost a lot of lives during COVID, but I do want to toast to all the things that everybody talked about on the show, from family to all the blessings that Frenchie went through, to the new things that Pitt learned about the computers. It's everything. Just shout out to the new leader, to those people who got. I mean, this has been the most votes in an election in election history. So shout out to those people that got those people educated them that they are eligible to vote and things like that, and also motivated people to go out there and vote. Shout out to Donald Trump winning the election 4 years ago to expose all the people that are closet racist.
Amen.
Shout out to even that. So sometimes, I'm a true believer in God, man. I'm gonna say, like, Jesus, my Lord and Savior. So in every negative, I find a positive.
Gotcha.
Even all the way down to my marriage. So.
Gotcha. For me, man, I know he said, I see a face shot. He said at the end, but yeah, I heard what he said at the end. Nah, because what he said at the end, I heard him.
I was into it. I'm like, yeah, you're what? That wasn't
even if I listen. That's for another story. That's another story. But
I ain't mean it to come out.
Yeah,
like
that's another story. Kid, don't even have to. Don't repeat it. Let's say we got it.
I'm the only one lost.
Nah, just leave it alone.
That was good.
We're gonna leave it alone. I'm trying to tell you, leave it alone, Kenny.
It's okay. I honestly,
I see what Shante picked up on. I know what Shante picked up on.
No, make her explain herself.
No.
I will, and I picked up on something that didn't even need to be picked up.
Yeah, so we're gonna leave it alone.
A scenario that didn't need to be created. Let's go.
Yeah. For me, first and foremost, man, shout out to everybody on the pod. I appreciate you guys for being on the pod, and everything like that. And then always, and shout out to you guys. And just shouting out to any goal that you guys have set, anything that you guys have done, achieved, and everything like that. Shout out to y'all for keep pushing through and pressing on through these times. So shout out to y'all. You know, we shouting out to everything outside of us. Shout out to y'all, the individual. You know what I mean? For making it happen, making it work, making things still move and shape. You know, like you said, Pitt, adapting. So shout out to y'all and y'all beautiful people, man, maintaining through a new normal. I want to call it a new temporary, because hopefully we can go back to some type of normal, but who knows? But shout out to y'all, and shout out to y'all being beautiful Black individuals, and shout out to our culture.
Yes.
Shout out to our Black culture.
Yep.
So
toast,
man. I always touch my screen, toast, man. So with that being said, man, real quick, man, we wrapping up real quick. Starting with you, Pitt. This is the last question we always ask, last round, last call. Name somebody that you would like to have a bar, drink, and entree with. You don't have to explain why. Just who would you would like to have a bar, drink, and entree with? One person. Dead or alive, rich, famous, doesn't even matter.
Donald Trump.
Okay, cool. I'll ask you offline why. But Shantae,
I was thinking that too.
Nah, trust me, it's not the obvious. I know how good my brother is.
Yeah,
so,
Shantae.
Yeah. In this season, I'm probably gonna go with Kamala Harris. I just want to learn more about like going from a regular degular to like the most popular Black woman in America right now.
Got you,
I
Jaleesa.
thought about that one too. That's crazy.
Yeah, Jaleesa.
We just gonna all have the same drink together, man.
Jaleesa.
Yeah.
Can't remember her name, but I would like to have a talk with the Black young lady that is the head of infectious disease at NIH.
Okay, cool. Got you. That's dope. French, last but not least, French.
Man, that's crazy because I thought about Trump and then I thought about Kamala Harris. So I don't want to be on the same page. So I'll say Black Panther. What's his name? Chadwick Boseman? That's not his name.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah, Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah, I you know that cancer thing. I got a little connection to it.
Yeah,
I would like to
definitely
just hear. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. How he played that out. I think the conversation be dope with him.
Okay, cool, man. Hey, once again, man, thank you guys so much for being a part of another episode of Bar Drinks and Entrees. What's up, Pitt?
Hey, man, I just wanted to, if I could, I know we said a lot about God today. I just wanted to have a quick opportunity to pray over the podcast of y'all.
No, go by all means. Go ahead, do your thing, man.
You know,
we're never gonna turn that down. Never gonna turn that down.
I just wanted to say a quick prayer, man. Father God, we just thank you right now, God, for this time, this opportunity, God, this chance that we got to come together in fellowship, God. First, I ask, God, that you bless Kenny and James, God, for this amazing podcast, God, this opportunity that they started, Father God. Cover them and keep them, God. Strengthen it, God. Make this show into whatever you want it to be, Father God. I thank you for all the participants, Father God, everybody that was online today, God. Keep their families, God. Keep them strong, God. Keep them healthy in their mind, God. Keep our bodies COVID-free, Father God. Unify your people, God. God, we need you to show up and show out, Father God. We need you, Father God, to make a way out of no way, Father God. And we rely on you, God, for everything that's happening right now, Father God. So we call out your name right now, God. Move on behalf of their families, God. Be with their children right now, Father God. Help them to make sound and godly decisions, Father God. That your name may get all the honor and glory, Father God. This is my prayer, God, today, Father God, for these people and unto you, God. It's in your mighty name that we pray and we give thanks. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. And I'm about to drink to that.
Amen.
Yeah, man, I appreciate that, Pitt. I appreciate that. I'm definitely going to. That man turned water into wine, so I don't think a little sip wouldn't hurt. But thank you very much. I appreciate that, Pitt. But like I said, man, thank you guys again for being on the show. Another episode in the books. Episode 20 is now in the book. Season 2, episode 20. Thank you guys again. Make sure if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, Bar Drinks and Entrees. Follow us on Instagram at Bar Drinks and Entrees. You can also catch us on all your local all your streaming platforms. You have Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and so many more. And make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. We appreciate you. Thank you so much, man. We out of here.
Out of here.